Louise Bichet is the project director of Reporters Without Borders. Louise, you're joining us from Paris. What's your reaction to the killing of 5 journalists in Younis earlier today?
Well, we are Reporters Without Borders are once again outraged by what happened. It's another targeted killing, another murder of journalists, and it's been now more than 200 journalists that have been killed since almost 2 years in the Gaza Strip. This is part of an overall strategy from the Israeli army to target journalists in order to reach a kind of a blackout of the information in the Gaza Strip. It is very well documented, and the international community, all the states that can have a power and impact on Israel to make it stop, must do it.
Remind us, in conflict, any conflict, what are the obligations of the belligerents, right? Any of the sides that are fighting, what are their obligations towards journalists?
Yeah, there is a very clear obligation from the belligerents in any armed conflict to protect journalists. I'm referring to Resolution 2222 that's the birthday of 10 years is actually this year. This is an awful backward step now 10 years after this resolution that again protects journalists. In any case, they must be protected and not targeted. So there are actually 3 demands that we formulated at RSF, at Reporters Without Borders. The first one is to stop killing journalists, killing Palestinian journalists. This has to stop. And impunity, by the way, of previous crimes that have been documented. The second is to evacuate wounded journalists that must go out of the Gaza Strip very urgently. And the third demand is to let the international press, international media to come in the Gaza Strip and to document what is currently happening.
What do you expect from the global journalism community after this? I mean, it's not the first time, not even the first time this month that journalists have been killed in Gaza. We have, as you well know, we have our colleagues, Anas al-Sharif, his team, who were killed just 15 days ago. In another part of the Gaza Strip, in a targeted killing. Israel had announced this, and then Israel acknowledged it. And overall, we have more than 240 media workers, Palestinian, who have been killed in 22 months of war in Gaza. Should we expect a sort of global reaction from the journalism community?
Yeah, we must, because it has to happen. This is too shy, this is too silent, and the community, and indeed the media community, has to be very much louder. And talking about Anas al-Sharif 2 weeks ago, just to remind also the fact that it was part of a tactic from the Israeli army, again, that has been very well documented. This is a part of the whole a campaign against Anas al-Sharif with fake accusation or not solid proof, at least, and which gives justification of this target killing. And we know this way of doing and the way of explaining the killing from the Israeli army. So again, this tactic is part of the more global strategy of killing information in the Gaza Strip. So yes, the community and the international community, and as well as the media community, where you, as you were referring, must be very much very much louder. I was hearing about your journalist, your colleague Hind, reporting from Deir al-Bala 10 minutes ago. I was really thinking about what is going to happen to her and what's the next step. Yeah.
Well, she told me a couple hours ago in one of her first reports after we learned of this news, after this happened, she told me none of us, and I think these are more or less her exact words, none of us know if we will survive this. And she was referring not just to herself and to the rest of our Al Jazeera journalists in Gaza, but to the broader community of journalists who are still operating fearlessly, I might add, and reporting in Gaza. So the reality is nobody knows. Nobody knows, who will end up surviving this. That is the reality on the ground, because there's nothing that can be done to protect reporters at this point.
No, definitely. At least now as Reporters Without Borders, what we are asking for is an emergency meeting. It might be part of the General Assembly from the United Nations that will start in the coming days. So we ask for an emergency meeting from the Security Council to address specifically the question of journalists targeting by the Israeli army and to make it stop.
Louise Bichet from Reporters Without Borders in Paris, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Don't miss out and get the full picture. Subscribe to Al Jazeera for reliable news and expert insights. Like, share, stay ahead.